Let me show you guys how I made my pumpkin pie horchata. To a pan, you're gonna add 1 cup of rice and 1 cinnamon stick. We're gonna give it a light toast, just enough to bring the nuttiness of the rice and the cinnamon stick. Once it cools down, you're gonna add some water and let this soak overnight. You will need a can of sweetened condensed milk and 1 of evaporated milk, vanilla extract, pumpkin pie spice extract, and of course, your pumpkin puree. The next day in the morning, I add everything to my blender. All the milks, half a can of the pumpkin puree, about 2 tablespoons each of vanilla and the pumpkin spice extract, about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Then I fill up the rest of my blender with water and blend until smooth. I'm gonna blend this twice just to make sure that the rice and the cinnamon stick get well blended. Then I strain it to catch whatever didn't blend. Now I'm gonna pour everything to my 3-quart pitcher. Then I fill up the rest of my pitcher with water and mix. Now this is the perfect time for you to check for sweetness. If it needs more sugar, add more sugar. If it's too sweet, just add more water. Capiche? For garnish, I'm gonna dip my cup in a little bit of sweetened condensed milk and then into some sugar and cinnamon mixture. Then I fill up my favorite cup with ice and pour myself some delicious and refreshing creamy pumpkin spice horchata. And then to top it off, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon powder on top. And of course, I'm gonna add a matching straw to my drink. And that's it, guys. This is how I made my pumpkin spice horchata. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys how to make the best pumpkin churro cheesecake. To your bowl, you're gonna add half a cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. Then you're gonna mix everything together and set that aside. For the filling, we're gonna use 2 8-ounce blocks of softened cream cheese. And before adding anything else, we're gonna give it a quick little whip. Then we're gonna add 1 cup of pumpkin puree, 1 cup of sugar or sweetened condensed milk. I'm using sweetened condensed milk, half a cup of sour cream, and don't leave this ingredient out. 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and a couple of splashes of pumpkin spice extract. Then you add 2 eggs and give it a quick mix. Then you give everything a quick mix. Now I'm gonna use my merger blender just because I love my cheesecake to be extra smooth. You're also gonna need 2 cans of croissant dough, 1 for the bottom crust and the other one for the top crust. Spray your pan with a little bit of nonstick, and then you're gonna sprinkle some of that cinnamon and sugar mixture. Using one of the croissant dough tubes, you're going to unroll it and form the bottom crust. Then you're gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar mixture. Then we pour the pumpkin cheesecake filling. And just to make sure everything's even out and there's no bubbles, we're gonna give it a little shake. Yes, I love making my life hard, and I'm using a round pan instead of a square one only because I think my cheesecake looks better. So I literally start forming the top crust like a puzzle, making sure I use every last piece of that croissant dough and everything gets covered. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because we're gonna spray it with a little bit more nonstick spray and then sprinkle it with more sugar cinnamon mixture. Take it in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. As soon as it comes out, you're gonna let it cool, remove the spring form, and then let this sit in the fridge for 3 hours or overnight. My family does not understand the task and they just start eating the cheesecake the moment it's out of the oven. Now we're just gonna decorate the cheesecake. We're gonna drizzle a pumpkin spice syrup that we made and a little bit of sweetened condensed milk. Then we top it off with either pecans or walnuts. And that's it, guys. Now this is gonna be the dessert that you're gonna take for your next Thanksgiving. You're gonna have your hating ass cousin fall on her ass the moment that they taste this and they see it. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys how to make your pumpkin spice syrup that's gonna have Starbucks out of business in no time. You're gonna need 2 cups of brown sugar and half a cup of pumpkin puree, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice. We're also gonna add a cinnamon stick and a cup and a half of water. Then we're gonna mix everything together and let this come to a simmer on low for about 5 to 10 minutes until you start noticing that the syrup is getting thick. Now this, my friends, is like molten lava, so do not touch it. Once this has reached the consistency that we're looking for, we're gonna turn it off the heat and add a couple splashes of pumpkin spice extract. I like to add it at the end only because it does contain a little bit of alcohol and I don't like it to burn out during the cooking process. Don't believe me, but I did hear that on the Food Network channel. Now I'm just gonna let this cool off, and then once it cools off, we're gonna add it to a container, put it in the fridge, and anytime you need some pumpkin spice in your life, you're gonna pull this out and make yourself a drink. And you can use this on everything, cold drinks, hot drinks, it don't even matter. This is also the same syrup that I use to drizzle all over that pumpkin churro cheesecake. Hope you like this recipe. Bye!